5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live back here, week 3 of the BKS. We're going to talk about the league and what just happened over the last few weeks, and obviously what's coming over the next week. We have a lot of big matchups. I'd like to introduce this week's special guest co-host, and also very gracious to give us his home for this show, and to be the studio, Stephen J. Gindy. Stephen.
Good to be here, Sam. Thanks for having me. Hey, guys.
Only a pleasure. So we're going to do like we always do, really quick. We're going to break down the games one at a time, as much of our knowledge. Obviously, the ones that we did, we're going to have the most knowledge on. And everything else, we're going to try to fill in the blanks, and we're going to talk about some storylines, etc., and what's, exciting things to come, and whatever league storylines there are. Okay. So I guess we're going to start with your game first, because why not? So go ahead.
Yeah, it was, according to the write-up, the game of the week, and rightfully so. We were the 1 versus the 2 seed, Joe S.
Anytime you have you and Joe S, it's always going to be the game of the week, because you always are always going to be the two teams fighting for a championship, just based on past history, and you know what? History from day one in the league. So
yeah, I mean, Joe and a lot of his guys on his team took the ring from us last year in a questionable forced game 3.
Right, no, that was
Eddie and I are still.
There was a lot of. We'll go back on that. We'll touch on that right now. Last year it was a World Series, and it was a great series going into Game 3. And Game 3 was actually decided to be played on the spot. They changed fields. A lot of different mix-up happened, and I believe that your team with Eddie Nissim believes you got the short end of the stick over there. But both teams were on the field. So.
Yeah, no complaints. Yes, complaints. Number one, Sammy S was on the other team, and he was the commissioner. And we had an agreement that we weren't going to play 3. We had a pitcher on the other side, Jackie Schwecke, pitched his heart out.
Ageless wonder.
Was putting the ball over the plate all day.
Right.
Eddie Nissim, he had more to his game, and he's known for not being able to go 2 when he was younger.
Imagine
he was forced to go 3
right.
when he specifically told me he didn't want to go 3.
Listen, sometimes when we get to the World Series, it becomes Iron Man, and listen, both teams played with it, and you were in the game, weren't you?
We had a 7-5 lead in the 6th, I believe. Eddie walked his 9 and 10 batter for Joe's team to cost us the inning, but he didn't walk a guy, maybe 1 or 2 all day before that. So it was a fatigue walk. They earned it. They won, but we're gonna come back.
I know. So this matchup this week was actually a World Series matchup of sorts, a rematchup of sorts.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe had a couple of guys like Raheem Levy, for example, from
he was on
that roster.
So this is really a statement wins for you, I would say, because going into the week you had this circled obviously before the season started.
So both of our teams are missing some key guys. David Cannon's out. We replaced him with Chaim, but he was only there for 1 game. David Sabal tore up his knee pretty bad. Banged up his knee pretty bad the day before.
What's his ETN coming back?
So he played actually in a minimal role. Had 2 key catches in the outfield where literally he played 2 or 3 innings all day out there. But he was key. He's been our MVP, no question about it. David Sabal has been key. I think he leads our league in hitting, leads our team in hitting, and.
So everyone knew going in. David Sabal's a strong hitter, and he could obviously hold his own in the outfield.
I mean, that's easy. Strong hitter. He's been getting better every single year. You look at his stats.
Look at everyone else in the league. He's one of the better players you're going to want starting on your team.
I mean, I'm not going to give away how he's doing it, but he's hitting for average. He's hitting for power, and he's not a slow guy.
There's no secret. It's all open over here. Don't worry about it.
So we had a good day. Joe S was missing a few key guys in the infield. Now we were missing some guys too, but it affected I think Joe more. Due to some actual plays.
Listen, I faced Joe the week before, and we were in both games. We could have won both games. So
they were 4-0. We were 3-1. It was a game of the week.
Big matchup.
And I would say the keys to the game were again Joe's defense, his infield defense, not him personally, and Joe himself. If he's not hitting, his team was not themselves.
Everything goes with Joe, so I agree with that.
Yeah, and Eddie has had Joe's number last year, and he started off having his number this year.
Well, listen, if you play him, if you have the right personnel in the field, you can play him and set up defensively where he's not as effective as he usually is. But you have to have the personnel.
So we played 4 outfilders, which we didn't have much of to begin with in the outfield position. We played 4 outfielders for Joe, basically saying, Joe, we're not going to let you beat us with a homer. And he had a couple of pop-ups, a couple of ground-outs, and we held him in check.
So, and game 1, what was your final score?
Game 1 was 9-3.
9-3, so that one, was pretty out of reach. And then game 2?
That was probably, it's hard to remember which game that was. Chaim played in that game, so that was game 1.
Either way, so you came away with 2.
Came away with 2.
Which is huge. Which is
Big,
huge.
big game. I mean, you go down to the end of the season, you know how important these games are, especially when you're
Every game's important.
head-to-head matchup for
Sure.
first seed, second seed. So we got the early first place.
Listen, you're talking about first seed, second seed. I'm talking about first win, second win. I'm on the totally other end of the spectrum. And bottom line, player of the game for you guys, and you were a player of the week, so you obviously were the catalyst for your team.
Truth is, the first time I've seen this guy Diamondstein, he has some really good stuff.
He's a good pitcher.
He had, I would say, too many ineffective balls. You know, he could be effectively wild. He was not effectively wild. So he was good, but he could have been a lot better. And you know, me personally, I made him work. Not everybody can do that, but I made him work until I got the pitch that I wanted.
So as long as you work deep into counts on a guy like that, you could get to him. So a guy like that, if he disposes of you early in the count and you get yourself out by chasing, he will be dominating. He really will be.
And he had his fair share of strikeouts. Game 1, he had 5 strikeouts.
That's a real number.
That's one game.
That's a real number. Yeah. So listen, we obviously know he has the stuff. You guys won 2 big. That was a big wins for you. Right now on the standings, you are
5-1.
You're 5-1. You're in first place. So that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, we got bailed out last week. We should have lost both. We were in disarray from the get go. That was against Richter's team.
Right.
And we stole one game and we took a split, but we really got lucky.
Listen,
And,
these wins are character wins, and these wins, like you said, you're going to look back and say, wow, that game meant the world when you look at the end of the season, going back on the schedule. Okay, so listen.
Let's go to your game a little
bit. Go to
bit.
our games, no problem, although I don't want to speak much about it. We faced against Spaceballs, which is Ray Estes' squad. They have a very strong squad. Ishak's playing a really good shortstop, and he actually hit pretty well.
That team is, how are they flying under the radar? They have the Safdie brothers.
Listen, Bobby Safdie left, looked strong. Natan Safdie in center, he came like 5 minutes before game time, so maybe he didn't get much sleep.
First round in this league.
No, 100% first rounder, but you know, he wasn't even as effective as he could have been on Sunday. Didn't really hit much.
Teddy, known for his defense.
He
Guy's hitting over 500.
And Teddy's hitting the ball hard well.
And I
the
saw
other
the
way.
play at the plate from my field.
Yeah, no,
where
so
he got thrown out, but that was an unbelievable shot.
Yeah, he hit a nice shot. Teddy's hitting. You got to give him credit. I actually pitched him really tough. He fought off outside fastballs and blooped a few into right field. But listen, you get on base, you get on base. There's no arguing. Their team overall, they are beatable. Jack Beebe had a monstrosity the other day, but there's an asterisk next to it. A lot of the plays could have been made, or their fielders weren't where they were supposed to be in a big key spot. Listen, bottom line is both games, Team Meh was ahead both games. We actually had a lead again in the 6th inning in the first game.
Let's jump to Jack Beebe real quick, if I can.
Sure.
And compare him to the Moneyball, my team's David Sabag, team MVP, league MVP. I think he's got to be one of the leading candidates. He's got 4 home runs on the league.
We're up at this point in time again. There's no way of looking at hits after the box score is printed and saying what was what.
Yeah, Ray Estes said he had 3 out of his 4 home runs were bombs.
So,
and one was a position.
He hit the ball well. I'm not going to lie. He hit the ball very well. He was actually hit the ball better than anyone on their team. Him and Ness Hadef, actually. 2 of the strongest.
I didn't see Ness Hadef had much stats. But
Ness actually hit the ball hard
I
every
saw
single
his name
time
on the
up.
preview.
So, listen,
this week.
Their team is strong, but bottom line is the story of this game wasn't about them winning. It was about the way our team keeps on continuously melting down at the end of every single game. In 5 of the 6 games, we had a lead after 6 innings. That's a crazy stat.
What's
What's
the issue?
going on?
Is it late defense? Is it
It's
lack
not-
of clutch hitting? What is the
Well,
problem?
hitting is a problem from the get-go. There's no one on our team hitting like the back of their baseball card. Nobody. Going up and down the lineup. Joey Batesh finally woke up this week. He had 3 monster shots, a few home
Good
runs. No, but he actually showed he's a good hitter this time for the first time. Mike Solomon's maybe coming out of it, we hope. David Harari's coming off his injuries, hasn't found his stride yet. Mickey Epstein hasn't put anything together yet. I'm doing the best I could batting
Morris
leadoff.
Cohen, not hitting.
Not really Morris. We actually got a shot in the arm this week. Eli Harari came back. He was away for the first 2 weeks, but then we were missing our shortstop.
I didn't know you were hitting. I'm saying I didn't know you were batting healthy enough to
of
bat.
course, I'm hitting well. I actually see the
triple
ball.
on the year.
I had a triple in the right field gap this week. Hit the ball well, split the gap. Listen, our
Ralph
team.
Sham is officially.
Ralph Shamma's on the team. He didn't come this week. He's leaving for China in a few weeks, but we still have not played with our full team yet from the beginning of the year. So it's very tough to judge us, and we were in every single game. So to say that we're a terrible team is foolhardy. But bottom line is, we're there, and I could pitch. I could. You'll see me when I face you. I have to work on some tiring and pacing myself. But either way, we lost.
Make you throw a lot of pitches. That's
yeah, 100%. Maybe throw a lot of pitches, but you'll see. I come in with all my fire and passion in the first game and a half, and then it's funny. I only lost the game 2 by 1 run. I think the score was 3-2 or 4-3. So it's not like I got hit hard game 2, even when I had not a lot left in the tank. Bottom line is, we lost. We're not a good team. Bill Parcells. Famous quote, "You are what your record says you are," and that's what we are. No excuses. We got to get better, and we're not dead yet, bottom line. We can win 8 games easily, and the first 6 games we played shows we could.
Can't lose another 2 this week.
Can't lose 2. You got to win 1 this week, otherwise we're probably...
We'll get to next week in a minute, but let's talk about the games we don't know.
Right, we're going to try to figure these games out right now.
Okay, so let's go to Magic Grits against the Fake 23 Blast. This was a split ski, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, so game...
Let's do this quickly.
Go ahead.
Just looking at the stat cards, Jojo Mamie seems to continue to hit. That was that rookie.
My cousin.
DT stole from the draft. And not much.
Game 1 was 3-2. So
David Dweck continues to hit.
Yeah, David Dweck, listen, you got to give him his due. He's been hitting, and we know he was a late round pick in the draft, and people are kicking themselves for passing on that type of bat. So, right, and game 1, final score was 3-2. Obviously, it was a well-pitched game.
Second, was that right?
Go ahead, take your call. And let's see. Yeah. Jackie Schwecke, obviously, still doing his thing. I know coming into that game, there was injuries, and Yoni Sarfati was a little bit banged up. And listen, game 1, 3-2 was a great game. So obviously, it was one of those close-fought battles. Game 2, again, you're looking at the box score. It was 4-2 Magic Grits. So I guess it was a well-earned split on both ends. Are there any players of the week from that actual game?
Sammy Sarfati had a good day.
Sammy Sarfati, I know Yoni actually he's hurt now.
It's a big-time loss for them.
So yeah,
big time. That guy can play. He is a first-rounder.
He can play anywhere. He can play center field. He can play shortstop. He can pitch. A guy like that, that's versatile. And he's effective everywhere. There you go. So next game and next matchup we'll get into.
Teletubbies Braveheart. Did you do that one?
Teletubbies Braveheart. We
Sammy
started. Okay.
Against Jack Harari.
Okay, so that game we had a Player of the Week candidate that actually won was
Jack Harari's pitcher, Eddie Harari.
Eddie Harari.
Just took this kid in the night league in your league as my pitcher without even seeing him.
He's legit. He's legit. He threw a complete game, 1-hit shutout
against Sammy Estes' lineup.
Against that lineup, it was good.
That lineup is not good.
Okay, but it's good.
Sorry.
1 hit.
I'm not going to beat around the bush like you. I'm going to tell you how it is. Sammy Estes' team, his lineup is his weakness. He's led by pitching by Mark Cohen. And this shortstop who I took as my second baseman in your league, that's their team. They're built on that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but if I look at the stat card
as long as Mark could be Mark and keep his team into games, their defense is strong enough to win. Yeah, you're right. They're missing a bat or two, but you know that's really what it comes down to.
I don't see anybody.
But I wanted to go back a second. We didn't mention DT and give him his props. He wasn't Player of the Week. He won 5 for 6 with a double, triple, 2 ribbies. And I guess he was a key part of that split.
We'll remember that when he asked to be slotted in the 4th or 5th round next year.
100%. We're going to screenshot his Player of the Week. So yeah, jumping back into this matchup.
Yeah, they got nobody. You got one guy hitting over 500. That's Albert Masry. He's the catcher.
Right.
He doesn't even usually hit.
Maybe you're right. I'm wrong. I didn't.
Mark Cohen's hitting 417. After that, everybody's in the 300s or 200s.
I'll be fair. I didn't have a chance to watch this team yet because I'm playing this year. So. Because I didn't see them yet, I still have to reserve judgment, and I can only talk about the players I've seen.
Me and my big mouth, I'm playing them this week, so
there you go. They're going to come after you big time.
So I mean, Joe Gindy's a player, and he was a steal in the draft. He's hitting 294. That guy is underperforming. He's got a triple.
So a guy like that's a breakout.
So that guy's going to break out. We know that. Alan Nasso, he'll come through, and we'll see. Leo S is starting off slow. Last year, he went from defensive first 2 years ago to hitting over 500 last year.
There is trouble in paradise over there because his dad is actually out for the year now.
Out for the year.
I think so. He's out for the year. Read the latest injury report, and they're scrambling for a replacement. So that team, who already was short on offense and a player, that's a big loss for them. So listen, are they a team that's teetering and on the brink? Yeah. Obviously, it's easy to say that my team is nowhere near contention at this point. So I guess those are the 2 weak teams at this point. So. Anyway, let's look ahead. Is that all the games? We covered all the games?
You want to just go over Teletubbies stats for a minute?
Go ahead.
Could we give them some time to talk about here?
Let's give them some love if they deserve any.
Let's see. Jack Harari's hitting well. He's leading by example. He's got a triple, a double, and a home run on the year. And Gabe Rudy, which you talked about.
Listen, Gabe,
we knew he was going to be good. I tried to get him in the league last year.
Gabe's a good center fielder.
Player.
He really is.
I think his brother, the older brother, Abraham, I think 412.
Oh, that's what I was referring to.
My wife's walking by herself and she's pregnant, so I'm just going to
go take the call. So I'll talk about the Rudys right now. Yeah, Gabe Rudy is a young kid. He's up and coming. He's exciting. He has the pop. But his older brother, Abraham, very under the radar type of player, plays a lockdown center field. Keeps it light in the clubhouse over there. To be honest, I'm extremely impressed with the Rudy addition, but I do think Haim Rudy might be out for the year. I think he has another excursion in India. I'm not 100% sure. So that team will be, I guess, waiting there. They have Chaz backing him up at shortstop, but I think Haim is out for the year.
Chaz, unbelievable. I heard he's playing unbelievable.
He is. I watched him firsthand.
You know the value of a guy that can go be put into center field or put into shortstop.
These guys are invaluable, but you know what? You got to give Chaz a lot of credit for the rebirth of his career, so to speak. So like he just put himself in the infield and he's a playmaker. So it's not like he's hiding himself.
Always a player. Every year, you know what you're getting.
True. I played with him a bunch of years ago. I'll never forget it. He was amazing. He actually was good for us.
Do you want to go into next week's game?
100%. Let's go to next week's preview. Braveheart plays against Moneyball. That's you versus Sammy S's.
So I don't know why that's the game of the week. That's number one. But I read this thing here. It's kind of interesting.
Meanwhile, whoever writes these write-ups, great job. There's a rotation of writers, and they're all anonymous. So, the grammar's a little off. I'll try to edit that next time I get into the site. But good job, everybody.
So, I mean, this is spot on here. This is Mark versus Nisim. Mark last year, I remember this personally, almost took game one of the semifinals. We ended up mercying him in game two, but he struck out a leadoff guy 3 times. Mark is a gamer. I think, the key here is the game one, and it's true. Because if Mark doesn't win game one, he's not the same in game two. If they're lost because of errors, he's going to be down. I like our chances here. I think our lineup is good enough with the experience to know Mark. They all know Mark.
I'll go out on a limb, and not even a limb. I think you guys are sweeping them handedly. Your team is just that much stronger than their team. And listen, like you said, Mark can get hot. That's their only chance. And that's a real thing because Mark, we've seen him do it in this league many, many years. So, but still, I like your team winning game one and then handedly winning game two. Game 2 of the week is
that's you versus DT.
The Met team against Magic Grits. We're 0-6. They're 3-3. So again, DT's team.
It's a good team. It's a good team.
I'm not saying no. I think they're a very good team.
I think you'll have good success against the rookies if you could take advantage of certain things.
So this is the first week we have nobody missing. I'll tell you, and that's a big thing. Every single week up until now, everyone's been playing out of position. I had Eli Harari playing left field for me last week. He's my second baseman. I have guys all over the place moving around, and everyone's they're just not comfortable, I guess. Either way, I do believe this is the week we wake up. Offensively, we had good signs against Freddie Hittery last week. We had a lot of good contact off the bat, and people were looking more comfortable, getting into more game playing shape. And listen, I'm only getting stronger every single week, and I'm looking forward to facing this lineup.
Who's their pitcher?
Their pitcher is Yakov Saruya. So Yakov Saruya.
I faced him.
Tell me.
He's a good player. He's a good pitcher, and he's a good bat. He wasn't himself, and he told me he wasn't himself afterwards. I still go back to that week one stats and video. Guy was all over the place. He was the best player on the field.
Yeah, he was great.
I don't think he's reached his potential, honestly. So.
Well, maybe you're saying he peaked in week one for the season.
I don't think he's really right. Okay.
I'm saying it's very fair to say that because right now, the way he started to where he is right now, 2 different ball players. Listen, I respect his bat more than anything because I saw him hit mammoth shots as a lefty, which is always concerning as an opposition.
They're not paying him to hit, though.
No, they're not paying him to hit. But he does show the stuff to be an ace. He does. And he's going to have every opportunity to face an 0-6 lineup. So I'll tell you what, if he can't be an 0-6 team, then you got to start asking a lot of questions about the Magic Grits team. Because right now, in all honesty, right, our team is the worst team in the league.
It's now or never. They're 3-3. You got to get a game off of them.
Listen, they have a good team. But I do believe, I like our chances. We're really kind of fed up with losing. And there's not that many more ways we can figure out a way to lose. But so I think that's it. We finished all potential opportunities away of losing, so we're going to win.
Let's move on. Joe S versus
Any Given Sunday 4-2. That's Joe S. And against Fake 23 Blast, which is Ray.
No,
and
it's not. Is it not? It's not Ray.
Fake 23 Blast is
Zul. Zool. That's
the Richter team.
Richter team. So that team, again, I got all the respect in the world for them. They should have swept us. They only took one. To me, it's a team I don't want to play in the playoffs. Jackie Schwecky seems to have my number. Go figure. My father keeps asking me why. And all I can say is that I just don't feel comfortable. The quick pitch, the
See, now it's funny. You have to learn how to mitigate the quick pitch.
yeah,
you
you talk to the umpire. The umpire doesn't take control. I like to be comfortable. It's just simple as that. I don't even step out of the box anymore because I had 2 or 3 strikeouts on my career for being 6 feet out of the box while Jack's quick pitching. The umpire doesn't give me time. I stopped doing that.
Jack is the wily veteran, and he just manages a way to get things done.
And he knows he has my number too. But go back to this game here. So Joe's facing his former Cy Young. And
Cy Young, wow.
Yeah, and didn't he win Cy Young?
Yeah, he won
Cy Young.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting matchup here. All signs.
What do you got? What's your call on this? Listen, Zool.
Joe S is pissed.
I know
he's not
pissed.
like losing 2 to me. He's gonna come out.
They're going to come out guns blazing, but the Richter team is in disarray right now because they just lost Yoni Sarfati for a few weeks, and
this could be an opportunity to put them down.
I'll take it. If Joe S could win 2 over here, that'd be unbelievable because that'll give us a shot for it to be.
You know what? I see that. I could see that, but I remember them playing them. I mean, Zool is their 5th best hitter. I mean, you got Richter. This other Richter kid can hit.
Yeah, 100%. They're good ball players.
He's just coming. He's finally coming out of his shell.
You talking about Albert?
Albert. We know Mark's a stud. But the brother now, he's getting better through the years.
It happens with age. These guys are growing up in the league. They're finally figuring it out, putting their game together. And listen, I agree. They have a very talented team. I'm still taking Joe S.
I want to go to that lineup real quick.
But I'm still taking Joe S. too because I know they'll line up very well.
This was fake 23, right? So I was looking at this, before the show. I mean, a guy like Barry Antabis, you go Richter, Zool, Barry, Jeffrey. I mean,
good team. Good team. I think Joe S. team is better.
We didn't go over the Safaris.
They're a good team. Joe S.
And their MVP for the season, David Sutton.
Yeah, so David Sutton
He killed us.
Out of nowhere.
I don't know. You guys been playing softball his whole life.
But out of nowhere, no one predicted this from a mile away.
Guy's hitting .583.
So you got to tip your cap. A guy hitting a .583. I don't care how he gets on base.
If he finishes a year
over .480.
If he finishes a year high,
over .480.
I always look at my rookie year and compare it. If that guy hits over 500, that's a statement.
Listen, let's get into the last matchup. I'm printing a sweep from Joe S. I guess you're calling a split.
I'm going with a split. I mean, I think Joe's gonna come out hard. If they can withstand the early onslaught of Joe and his bunch.
Listen, everything changes with the next day's starting pitcher. If Diamondstein's on, they're winning both games.
This guy's the key to that team.
Spaceballs versus Teletubbies as the last matchup. That's Ray Estes, Natan, Bobby, Teddy, and company.
I think they're the most underrated team in the league. We spoke about this briefly.
They're good. I think they have. I think that they might be even my World Series favorite at this point. 6 games in, they're that good.
We're 5-1.
They're very. I understand that. Okay. So I think their team is so well rounded. They have less holes than you guys.
It's gonna be a hell of a matchup when I play Ray.
It's gonna be awesome.
Going on with this matchup here. I haven't seen Jack. He's got guys that the league hasn't seen, the Rudies, and he's got a pitcher that's leader for Cy Young right now. So I don't have an opinion on this. It's a scary thought. Hitting.
So listen, their defense can be suspect. It can.
Who's?
At times. Teletubbies.
They're known for their defense going in.
Their defense.
The Rudies can play defense.
I watched them not make plays week 1. You all saw it on the highlights. There are prone to
Jack and French Field. Jack's a stud.
I'm not saying Jack. I'm talking about in general. They didn't look that great that lockdown, and everyone always overlooks Freddie Hittery. How many times can we count this guy out?
He knows how to get people out.
He's got more lives than any cat I've ever met. It's amazing. This guy always goes late in the draft. Actually, he was drafted pretty high this year for the first time in his career. And
Ray wanted him from the get-go.
Listen, he's won with him in the night league, so he knows he can win with him. He knows what he's getting. He knows how to throw in, out, high, low, get guys to chase out in the zone. Did it to our team this past week, although we had good swings on it, but still. I'm calling a split on this matchup because I know both teams are actually pretty competent and pretty good, even though I think Spaceballs will be losing game 2 in heartbreak. I think they're going to be up 2 to win 2.
I see split. That's an easy answer, but I hate taking a split. But I could see the Teletubbies not knowing what they got into in this matchup here, coming in like any other week. Ray's team is stacked.
They don't realize Ray's team is really top to bottom. I think from 1 through 12 is the strongest team. It really is.
And they got the leadership. They got Ray.
And so that's really the looking forward to this upcoming week and whatever other league stories we had going in, and looking forward to next week where
Trading
we recap
deadline is Thursday.
tomorrow night. So if any crazy trades happen, I'll do an impromptu quick show just to recap the trade. But I doubt anything's gonna go down.
Yeah,
Listen, my
I
phone is blowing up right now because I know I have a lot of players that people are trying to buy in the cheap. Don't think it's going to happen. And I'm including you, by the way. The text that you just sent me literally under the table just now. So either way, we'll see what happens. If anything happens, we'll talk about it. And looking forward to next week. And this Sunday's going to be a lot of fun, boys. I'll see you.